days. Namaste, everyone. I am so glad to see you all on today. I'm sorry for the delay. We had some computer problems. So, love you all and welcome to the Cosmic Center of Spiritual Light. And I see Donna and the rest of you are on. So, namaste. Okay. Finally got started. Thank you for coming today. I didn't know that was you, Kathy, that came in because I didn't turn around all the way. It's good to see you. Namaste, everyone. So, welcome. I'm Reverend Nancy Robinson. I am one of the reverends here, of course, at the Cosmic Center of Spiritual Light. So today, I'm going to be doing the service on, it's kind of on perception and knowing, and where we're going with our perception and how we get to the point of knowing and wisdom. Okay, right now the world is changing rapidly, and we're getting more downloads and more energies than we've ever had before, especially at 888, which is just recently. And we're still in the shadows of that. And we're still receiving more and more energies. In fact, today, and we're also in Mercury retrograde, so we had problems with the computer. But in fact, today, I felt the energy so heavy, it was like, poof. It was hard for me to get going and moving around, and I was like, whoa, what is going on? And we will feel those ripples of energy coming in. But how do we navigate through those energies? How do we receive the energies that are coming in for our highest and best good? And how do we get to the point where we're getting right, recognizing and being our true authentic selves and not holding back our own truth? We've been programmed to think that there's something wrong with us, mostly through our, lots of times through our parenting that we received, or through the school system, okay? And they program things in the school system to make you competitive with other students, and they grade you on things, but do they ever teach you how to be your true authentic self? They don't. Okay. They're changing a curriculum. But so we haven't really been trained on how to receive and to integrate our spiritual self and our physical self and integrate them together so that it can create this vortex of energy where we live and walk in our own authentic true self, our own divine being, who we really are. But we haven't really been taught how to do that, have we? It's kind of like hit and miss. Okay, that feels good. This doesn't feel good. Well, that is part of what we need to do for ourselves, is to pay attention to where our true authentic self is taking us. Pay attention to those symbols or those signals of what's coming in front of us. You know, I often say, if I'm looking for something or wanted to be guided to something and 3 people tell me about it, that's where I'm going. You know, there are certain signs and symbols along the way to guide us, but there are also things that in our childhood that we resonated to. And sometimes we were told not to resonate to that, you know, be quiet, be a good girl. I heard that a lot because I was not a quiet child, you know, but then you equivalent that if you're quiet, you're a good girl, you know, and that didn't resonate with me, you know. So I kept on, because I'm a very independent person. I kept on pushing my own agenda. It wasn't very well liked by a lot of people around me, including my parents. But what gives us that encouragement? What gives us that motivation to really resonate with our true authentic self? And now we're going to go over some of those things today as I talk with you. But did everybody get their handouts? Jill is going to help you with those handouts. And then we'll get started. Yeah. Hi, Sandy. So good to see you. You sneaking in here? That's okay. We like people that sneak in. I had a lady come earlier with her daughter, and she thought it started at 10 and she couldn't stay. Oh. She thought because she would have to leave at 11. And it's a good thing that she went on because we didn't get started till a few minutes ago because of the silly computer. Okay, so we're talking about what is resonating with our true authentic self. And so before we get started, we'll go through the handouts. I'm welcoming you all to this Sunday service. I just said before that we're still resonating in the vibration of the 8-8 portal. That portal is extremely important, especially right now, because of the energies that are coming through. The energies of divine purpose, the energies of divine love, and they are codes that are coming through to us. These codes are codes that are bringing us back to our true authentic self. So we've been kind of battling that all of our lives and not accepting that. And like I said, we've been programmed kind of out of that. So first of all, we're going to read the Lord's Prayer, which is on the first page here. And the Lord's Prayer is a prayer that is not just a prayer. And now, as we're moving into these higher vibrations, we're beginning to understand the higher spiritual energy and the meaning of things. If you do any studies of the religions in the world or the different faiths, if you go down and study deep into each one of those, and you keep going higher to the higher meaning of things, guess what? It's all one. It all resonates at a higher level, not at the physical level that they teach you in a church, but at a higher level, it all comes from the same point. And it all Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, it all goes right back to the same thing, which is source. And we are source within us. Okay, we are aiming and going towards, and that's what this great awakening is about, becoming that source, owning that source, walking in that source. We are source. We were born in perfection. All of this stuff that you hear that you're not perfect is wrong. You are perfect. You just have some challenges in this 3D world, don't we? And in our emotions, our emotional body, there's 4 bodies. There's the mental, the emotional, the etheric, and the physical. Our emotional body was originally given to our species as to exonerate and magnify the Godhead or the divine source within us. It wasn't meant for these lower energies. It wasn't meant for anger and pain and trauma and drama and all of that other stuff. It wasn't meant for that. But because of the fall of man and where our dimension went to, it held a lot of that too. So when I look psychically at somebody's energy body, their emotional body, I can see the little, it looks like puffs of smoke to me. Might look like something else to somebody else. I call it emotional scarring. That is stuff that's being held in the emotional body that keeps us from our true authentic self, that keeps us from our divine perfection. We are a God source having a human experience. You think that God source is not perfect? But here's the other thing that these energy bodies carry. These energy bodies carry lineage, things from our lineage. Okay, both mother and father side. So I heard someone speaking who's a great spiritual scholar, and he was speaking about, certain races carry things too. Like the Black race is, they carry all of the stuff that came from being slaves, and they carry anger. And when we get to this point where all of you are at now, we get to this point, it's time to clean it up. Let go and live your true authentic self. Be that divine being. Now, that's where perception comes in. Okay? What is your perception? What's your belief? Okay? You know, and I know that the perception that we had as a child is no longer there, right? But there's still some perceptions that we had as a child that are, useful now. But if your inner child is cluttered up with emotional crap and you haven't let go of that, then that stuff that's with your inner child that's useful is not going to come out. The one thing I love about my inner child is she has a great sense of humor and she loves to laugh. And I let my inner child come out and play. You know, we all need to remember this inner child has had some trauma and drama, but there's good stuff about that inner child too. What do children look at life as? Wonderment. Okay. How about living just one day? Try it out. Living one day in wonderment. Everything you look at is wonderment. You can't complain about anything. You can't go, oh, shoot, I wish that wasn't happening. No, none of that. Just live the day in wonderment and grace and gratitude. And I'll bet you'll enjoy your day. Okay? So this is the perception. We have perceptions when we look out, but we look through our wounds, don't we? Now, I'm asking all of us to go to a higher spiritual understanding and understand that certain people or situations or places are put in our path to let us grow through that to get to our higher understanding, to our divine, unique being that we are. And the way the energies are coming in, it's making it possible for us to do that. So these energies are such high vibrational energies. In fact, on 8/8, I did a class here with Reverend Sharon Elizabeth. It was so powerful that I didn't even feel like when I was walking out of here that my feet were touching the ground, And so, and I do think when I drove home, and I live in Venice, that there was not very much knowledge of what was going on the earth plane. I was kind of just floating through. So let's say the Lord's Prayer. It clears the chakras and balances when you say this. So every day, say the Lord's Prayer. It helps out. Okay, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Amen and amen. There's another sheet here. This is the Aramaic translation of the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. And this is a higher vibrational version of our Lord's Prayer. So let's did you get that, honey? We're just waiting for someone to get it. And for the people online, just listen and absorb what this is saying. Jill, just bring the whole table to yourself. You'll be fine then. Let's begin. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out within us a space where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruit of your mission. Let us bear fruit in accordance to our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being brings to flourish and grow. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of our past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which is to drive us from the true purpose, but eliminate the opportunities of the present moment, for you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, the power, and the fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole again. Made whole again. That's what we're doing, aren't we? We're making ourselves whole. We're making ourselves, bringing ourselves back to that divine presence that we already are. We haven't lost it. It's there waiting for us to recognize it. We're already that divine presence. We just have to walk in it. And letting people or situations knock us off our path isn't very advisable, is it? Because guess what? Then we have to do the groundwork over again and do forgiveness and work through the trauma and all that stuff. So in the beginning, don't let them knock you off your path. Hard to do, isn't it? But we save ourselves a lot of steps if we remain true to ourselves, our divine selves, and if we stay in our own power. I know some of you have heard this story before, but I love to repeat it because it's such an amazing message. Master Choa was the founder of pranic healing, and he is no longer in the body. He hasn't been in the body for several years now. And I had a partnership in a meditation circle, or a meditation center, and it wasn't going well. And there was some really icky stuff that was going on between me and her and some of the other members. And so one night I was sitting at the meditation circle alone. It was like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, because I was just sitting there thinking, I've got to be led on what to do, and I need a message from Spirit. And I actually asked Master Choa, because it was a meditation center with pranic healing, and I said, Master Choa, I don't know what to do with this. and I was emotionally very distraught. And I got quiet, and you know, if you're chattering away the spirit, you can't hear it, you know, so you have to get quiet and be still. And that verse is, be still and know that I am God. Is that it? So, and that's talking to your inner soul. Be still and feel your God source. Know your God source and get the answers that you need. And so I got really still, and Master Choya's voice came booming through. And he said, no man put you on your path. Let no man take you off, or no human put you on your path. Let no human take you off. If you are having issues or problems with another human and you've done your work, you leave that with them. That's their stuff. Do not pick it up. Don't carry it. You got your own baggage to carry. That's too big a load, right? Do not let anyone knock you off your path or your empowerment. Now, I can stand here and say this all day long, and I don't always accomplish it because I, too, am human. But the more you keep doing something, the more you keep affirming that you are empowered, that you are your great I am, guess what happens? It starts showing up because the universe hears you say that or affirm that, right? So this next page is the I am affirmation. This is affirming that you are not the things that you're allowing attachments to. So let's go to that page and read that. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is only a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I'm a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God. I am one with all. Feel that. Feel that oneness with your divine spark. You're made from that divine spark. Where did that divine spark get made from? Love. How do we go from one dimension or reality to another reality? You don't like your reality? Change it. And I have people call me all the time, complaining about their reality. And I say to them every single time, you have a choice. You have the choice. Do you want to change it or don't you want to change it? But complaining about it ain't getting you anywhere. You're spinning your wheels. You're like one of those little gerbils going, you know, it's just not going to change things to bitch about it, is it? And we all know, I have a brother that does that really well, you know. But will you take action? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. And I pray for him to take action. Because we can own something, we can believe something, but if we're sitting on our butts and not doing anything about it, it ain't going to happen. You have to put action into it. When I moved down here to Florida, I came down in July and found my house. I said I was moving to Florida. I didn't know how I was going to pay for that house. I had no idea. I told Spirit what I wanted, walked into my house, exactly what I wanted. Okay? But how do you manifest something? You tell spirit what you want, the universe what you want, and then you happily say thank you and expect it to show up. I have to take action though to make it show up sometimes. I had to look at a car before I could buy a car. I knew what I wanted. Spirit showed it to me on the exact car I wanted on my phone when I'm sitting in a hospital room. Okay. So I called my friend and I said, hey, I found my car. Let's go get it. Didn't know how I was going to pay for it all because I didn't have from the insurance company. My car, my previous car had a fire inside of it, so it was totaled. Right? So I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. But I said, this is it. This is the car I want. It was the exact price I wanted to pay for it. And then I said, okay, God, I need help here. I asked for donations at that time. And I had let a lot of people buy cars. I helped a lot of people. In fact, years ago, there was a girl that I was friend with at my church, and she didn't have any money, and she was going to get evicted from the thing, and her boyfriend took her car out and totaled it. Now she needed a car. I put her car on a credit card and let her pay me. Of course, I don't think she ever paid for that car, but it didn't matter to me. You know, I was grateful to do it. So I knew that if I asked for help, people would help me. The day before I had to finish paying that car off, I was short $600. One of my clients called desperate on a Sunday, and I had to have the money on Monday. And that day I said, okay, Spirit, I gotta have $600 more. And so the day before, I take this client in the evening because she was desperate for some help. She owed me like $250 when it all finished. And she goes, how much do I owe you? And I told her. She says, how are you doing with the money for your car? I said, I need a little bit more. And I went to the bathroom when I came back. On my desk was a check for $600 exactly. Okay. We have power. Recognize your power. Create the world you want to be in. This is the perfect time. Why is it? Because we're in the Lion's Gate still. That is manifesting. Do you know what happens when we manifest? Let me just tell you the chemical kind of the alchemy that happens. Okay. Everything we think becomes into existence. Only think things that you want to come into existence. How you think is how you feel, isn't it? How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet as to what you're going to bring to you. So you must protect and train your mind to be conscious of what we're thinking. It only takes 3 minutes. 3 minutes. For your body to produce a hormone. Your body produces chemicals like a pharmacy. It's inside of you. We have everything we need inside of us. When you think about something for 3 minutes, something like, I'm great, right? You know, when somebody asks me, how are you today? I always answer, I'm great, because the universe hears that and it will come back to me. With feeling, your body will then produce a dopamine. The dopamine is naturally produced and then activates as a hormone. The hormone creates an emotion. The emotion creates a vibration. The vibration creates a magnet that brings things to you. Simple, right? But do we use that? Now, I've created a car and a house and a lot of things, but sometimes I lose my way. I get caught up in my emotion and I'm not using my emotion the proper way. How are you using your emotions? How are you using your thought? Get conscious of it, because we're getting into that part where we're going to manifest that thought. And let me tell you, that's fun. That's a lot of fun to manifest things that thought. I wanted to go to the beach or go swimming, and I was thinking about it, and then my girlfriend called me up and asked me to go with her. Okay? So all you have to do is think about what you want, and if you tap in to your higher power and your own power, your empowerment, your divine source within you, it'll resonate out, bring a dopamine in, resonate out, because I could see myself having fun. And that happened. Okay. So I tapped into that emotion. Use your emotions correctly. Don't get caught up in those, oh, for me, I guess I'll go eat worms. That's not very appetizing, is it? Okay. So the other thing is, as we go through this, and I will repeat it over and over and over and again, to do forgiveness. And people say, well, I already forgive. Honey, if you're here on earth, you haven't done enough forgiveness. Right? We have to forgive. And we forget who to forgive. Ourselves. For misconceptions that we hold about ourselves. What misconceptions is limiting you from being where you want, doing what you want, and having what you want? What is limiting you? It's some conception that you're holding, some false conception, right? So that is where we need to do forgiveness. So on this next page is the joy of forgiveness. So let's read that. I am flooding my being in every cell etheric record since the beginning of time with the joyful experience of divine forgiveness. I am forgiving. I let go of all effects and misused energy impinging on my life and the lives of all humanity. I let go of the ignorance, confusion, and pain of this world. I now know I have come to love life free, and so I shall. This is the heart center of my existence, the joy of forgiving life as it enters my awareness. From this moment forward, I am settling all life free into a higher vibration with the gift of forgiveness that my Father, Mother, God have given me so freely into my keeping. I am the force of the violet flame of forgiveness, flooding this sweet earth. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. Can you feel that joy in your heart? What happens when you have joy and forgiveness? It sets you free. And it opens the doors to you attaching to your divinity, your true self, your divine spark. So let's invoke the violet flame to do that. Okay, the next page. Transmute by violet fire, all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone, that cause is love, the sacred tone. Transmute by violet fire, all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone, that causes love, the sacred tone. Transmute by violet fire, all causes and cores not of God's desire. I am a being of cause alone, that cause is love, the sacred tone. Yes, indeed. We use the divine violet flame to wash away things. The most too powerful color and energy and vibration that you can use is violet and electric violet. Violet is like the violet flame, but electric violet is actually the vibration of the Godhead, of the divine source. So when I do a lot of healing and things, I'll ask for electric violet light to come through. I do a meditation on Tuesday nights on Zoom, and that I use the electric violet light to clear the body and to help heal. So think about what you're using in your meditations. Go to a source like Patricia Kotaropoulos. This is she has a CD and this Violet Flame book. Very useful meditations, very useful things to clear the body. This is the time. This is the time for all of us who are on a spiritual path to awaken to our divinity and to own it and to walk in it. And the more we start being able to change our perception, bring it to a higher vibration. Like I said, all the religions, all the spiritual paths go to one thing, that at a higher vibration, it's all one. Because that's all we are, it's all one. If God is the sun, then we're a sun ray. Okay? Think of your sun ray dancing around, shedding light on ourselves and all others. Isn't that a wonderful vision? Just think if you carry that through each day, that I'm going to just let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Well, guess what? If you let your light shine, that little light becomes a great big light. And you bring joy unto yourself and to others. Okay? So when you leave your home, or even just when you're at home, sending out love from your heart. Love is a vibration that creates universes. We have no clue what love does on this planet. We think, oh, I love somebody, or I don't love somebody. It's just this much of what love is. We have no understanding of it completely. We're getting there. But we have no understanding of it completely. We also have to remember that we're multi-dimensional beings. This is just the consciousness that we're in. What can we do with consciousness? You can become aware and you can change your consciousness anytime you want to. We have way more power than we give ourselves credit for, or anybody else for that matter. Okay? But how do we get there? We have to, first of all, be willing, aware, and then choice. Willing to look at it, aware of what it is, and choices where we're going to hang on to this crap, or we're going to move on and go to higher dimensions and be higher and be happier and be all that we can be. And if you think you're helping people and you're still holding a grudge about things or in a lower negative field, you're not helping them as much as you could be if you become all that you can be. If you're all that you can be, you're sending out and vibrating out love, period. And that's helping them more than you go on across the street to pick up their groceries or whatever. When we vibrate higher, the people around us begin to vibrate higher. We have more effect on things by being all we can be than we give ourselves credit for. So The other thing we need to do is live in gratitude, don't we? We need to be grateful that we're a particle of God and we're here on this earth and we've been given the chance to help ourselves and others ascend in this lifetime. We don't have to keep coming back on that old karmic wheel. We don't. Not if you clear it in this one. You clear those karmas and you clear that lineage, because now it's becoming more and more aware that part of the reason that you raised your hand up and said, I'm going down there, I'm going to fix things, was that you're going to fix your lineage too. Now that's kind of a heavy responsibility, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be. Fixing your lineage is only fixing yourself. Clearing your lineage is you clearing yourself and raising your vibration up. What did I just say? When you raise your vibration up, everybody else goes with you, and that's all down the lineage. And there's been traumas and dramas and all kinds of crap going on in that lineage, hasn't there been? But we're here now to clear things, to release things, to abide in our divine power and be all that we can be. Okay, I'm going to have you close your eyes and we're going to resonate at gratitude. Beloved Father, Mother God, from your glorious heart I came into being, and into my loving heart one day, when my service here on earth is through, I shall return. I thank you for the privilege of having life and of having a physical embodiment during this sacred time when the permanent golden age of spiritual freedom is being established on earth. I thank you for the gift of the transmutation, through the power of the violet transmuting flame, the amazing gift through which all that is not of light that I myself and others have created consciously or unconsciously shall be purified and returned to light. I am thankful for sustaining through the legions of the ascended flame and the open door through which this sweet, sweet earth and all life evolving on it, on her shall return home. To this end, I now individually and collectively, as a surrogate on behalf of all humanity, offer my energies and my individual life stream as a holy grail through which the light of creation will flow to fulfill the immaculate conception of the divine plan for this blessed planet. Assist me, beloved Father, Mother God, to harmonize my outer self, my physical self, my etheric self, my mental self, and my emotional self. Let me harmonize these beautiful bodies, these energy bodies. Through the grace and the transfiguring divine love invested in me with the power to magnify and radiate the presence of divinity with every thought, word, action, and feeling I express from this moment forward. And so it is, and so be it. Beloved, I am. How beautiful does that feel? And as we move forward, there are some things I'd like you to concentrate on or contemplate on, and bringing forward this divinity of yourself. These are 5 virtues that are wonderful to live by. Loving kindness, not injury. If it's going to hurt somebody's feeling, you use loving kindness. And maybe don't say it or don't do it. Accurate perception and correct. Accurate perception and correct expression, non-falsehood. Always make sure when you look at a situation that you see all of it and not something that is programmed inside of you to judge. So accurate perception. Look at all of what's happening, not just what's in front of your face. And do not put falsehood into it. Generosity and non-stealing. That means mental, physical, emotional. Do not steal from others, but be generous and give. And they will be generous and give to you. Moderation and non-excessiveness. Well, you know what happens when excessiveness happens, just like an addiction. Everything should be in moderation. Moderation and balance. If you look at nature and you look at a tree or a shell from the ocean, isn't it balanced? It's always balanced. Nature is balanced. So we need moderation and non-excessiveness to hold our balance, to keep us grounded, to keep us on our center. Consistency of aim and effort and non-laziness. Well, how many times do I procrastinate? Way too many times. But you have to set that pinpoint of where you want to go. Where do you want to take your life? Where do you want to be in your life? What experiences do you want to have? You have to have a consistency, just like when I was trying to find a house, I just came down here and found it. Had to figure out how to pay for it after I got it. But you know what? I had a rent rebate go into my account as soon as I put in the offer, was the exact amount of money that I needed for the down payment. About that. Because I had a consistency of aim and effort as to where I was going. What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? We don't need to know the how. You just say, that's what I'm going to do. And let spirit guide you. The next move will come. They'll take care of you. I am witness to it in my own life that if you surrender and trust, that is priceless. But you have to have consistency and efforts. But we also have to have the right perception. And we don't need to get caught up in the programs or the things that have been programmed in us that we might fall into belief of, and we don't even know we're believing it. So we have to look closely. Take time to look at yourself. I was thinking about something the other day and I thought, you know what? I've been really critical of that person. And so I sat down and I went in a meditation and I thought, okay, I'm just going to look at this person for who they are and where they came from and what is going on to make them act that way. So I did. I got quite an awakening when I did that. Because I could see where this person was a woman, where her hurts, her traumas, all of the things that she'd been through were affecting how she was acting now. So I did healing. And I did prayers for her. And the next time I met with her, all I could feel was love. And let me tell you something, I was kind of pissed at her. I was like, why is she been that way? Is she really trying to hurt me? So you know those 4 agreements that what's the guy's name? Don Miguel wrote. Ruiz. And he said, don't take anything personally. That's a good thing to live by. Because boy, when you start taking things personally, you start screwing yourself up. That is not good for you. Okay? That's their stuff. Leave it with them. They're just doing maybe what you need to learn from. They're being a mirror to you sometimes about what you need to change next. Remember, I said in the beginning that the universe will give us signals. It'll show us. Sometimes it's showing us how to humble ourselves and send love instead of, criticizing and judging. You don't know what that person's been through. And that's the same thing. You go out and you have at a restaurant and the waitress or waiter acts stupid and they're not very nice. And you're like, Jay, I'm not giving them a tip. You don't know what that person's going through. Maybe all they need is a smile from you or a little bit of, how are you today? I practically melded a woman one time when we went to this. We were coming back from Wisconsin, going to Minneapolis. Where I know we were coming back. And there's this really famous place in Wisconsin that has pies. And so we went in there. And the woman that was seating people, she was totally in a grumpy mood. She was not very nice. And she was just, having a bad day. I don't know what it was about, nor did I care to find out because I didn't want to get in her stuff. But I stopped and I was getting irritated with her. And I found myself getting irritated. And instead of getting irritated, I started to say, okay, just be compassionate. And I said to her, I saw her name tag and I called her name and I said, and how are you today? It looks like it's really busy and hectic in here for you. Honey, we got the best seat in the house, the best table. Because I cared enough to ask her how she was. When people are put in a position to serve, and I get that way too, because people, will call me and they always want something from me. Oh, can you do this? Or can you give me a haircut? Or can you give me a reading? Or can you give me a healing? And blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes I don't hear from my friends that say, oh, just how are you? How's it going? How was your day? Just stop and think about that. And the next time you run up against somebody that is having what you can see a bad day, maybe you need to just give them a little love and compassion. That's all they need. Or a smile. But oftentimes we go into that other place, don't we? Where we're judging and say, oh, they're grumpy or they're not very nice. I'm not giving them a tip, right? But next time, do something different. We have choice. We have choices where we're going to go and where we want to recognize. Are you recognize the divinity in that person in front of you? So I happened to run across my mother's Bible when I was doing some cleaning. I put it away somewhere. And I ran across that, and my mother's side of the family, they read the Bible every day. My grandmother, all of her sisters, my great-grandmother, and my mother. And her sisters and brother. They all read the Bible every day. They read at least one book. And I felt like, when I was growing up, that I didn't know if I connected with all of that or not. And I certainly don't read the Bible every day. This is not my thing. That's okay. But you know what connected with me as a child was Psalms 23. And I didn't understand it because perception is everything, right? I didn't understand why it would say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I thought, who doesn't want the Lord to be their shepherd? You see how misconstrued you can get with different things and the understanding. But if you go to the higher understanding, it's the Lord is my shepherd. He's my pathway, my guidance. Okay. It is saying that God is there always, but it's in here. And I shall not want for anything. When you're connected to that, you shall not want. He maketh me lay down in green pastures. Green pastures, what is that? Nurturing? Just think about a sheep in a green pasture. They're being nurtured. He leads me beside quiet waters. How much of our body is made of water? 70%. If we quiet the waters, we have a better connection, don't we? He guides me in the path of righteousness. He will lead you to the right thing to do. If you are, having a question like I did with this partner that I had in the meditation session, I got the answer. Let no human take you off your path. In his name's sake. So we need to put our divinity, our Christ self, our holiness, our divineness first. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I'm telling you, if you look at the world right now, it is the valley of the shadow of the death, isn't it? Okay, we don't know what to think about the world. And Lord knows if you get involved with politics, you're going down a dark valley, that's for sure. But fear no evil, thou art with me. Thou art within me. I don't have to fear anything. And if you don't fear anything, you don't have to defend yourself either. And that's one thing I learned from the Course in Miracles. If you are being all that you can be and you're in your true self, you don't owe anybody any explanation about anything you do, and you don't have to defend yourself. You might say that's not true, or I'm sorry you see it that way, but to stand there and defend what I am doing and my own truth, I don't need to do that. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So your divine being will comfort you. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Well, there's a very, very deep spiritual meaning with that, but we have that refers to the pineal gland. Okay. So surely goodness and loving kindness, just as we were speaking, will follow me all my days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You will dwell in your divinity, your Christ consciousness forever. Once you own it, walk in it, and be it, you will always have it. You've always had it. You just have to make a choice as to be it. Which you already are, that you got clouded because of this lower vibration that we live in. The higher your vibration goes, the more you're going to connect with your divinity. the more you're going to live in your true self. The more you're going to look out at the world as an observer of it and do not get entangled with it. The more you're going to not have an emotional entanglement with anything. You can have emotions about it, but you don't get entangled with it. You can cry. You can feel sad, but you're not staying there. You can have grief. Guilt, you should wipe off the table, period. Guilt doesn't belong anywhere near your higher self. Somebody asked me, well, I feel guilty about that. What should I do about it? And I said, well, for one thing, drop the guilt. Why would you feel guilty about somebody else's actions? That's not yours. Don't own something that's not yours. Or feel guilty about doing something that somebody expects you to do? Really? Come on. Does that make any sense when you really listen to it or hear it? That you feel guilty because somebody expected you to do something and you didn't want to do it anyway, right? Or you would have done it. Okay? Guilt has no place. Now, you can feel grief, but don't stay in it. And I, for a fact, lost my mother 2 years ago. I once in a while have a little wave of grief. I miss her. I want to call her on the phone. I want to, tell her about something. I still do that, but she's just not physically in front of me. And there's a grief about that because we grieve things that we don't have physically. But I don't stay in it. I go, okay, let's go through this and out on the other side, away we go. Do you really think that anybody on the other side wants you to continue grieving them? I don't think so. They want you to live happy lives because they just became all they can be. When they went out of this body, they went into the whole soul. So, and people will ask me lots of times when I get in touch with loved ones or people from the other side, oh, tell them I'm sorry. I said, if you think that on the other side they're holding something against you, you're wrong. Even if they were nasty, nasty people on this side. On the other side, that doesn't. So let go of guilt and grief as much as possible. And stay in a high vibration. Okay, so I am going to trot on over here to this beautiful green chair, and we're going to do a little meditation before we finish up today. I get stiff when I stand like that. So. We're going to take 3 wonderful cleansing breaths, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to breathe in through our nose from the crown and bring it directly down to your solar plexus. You're going to hold for a minute at the solar plexus and pull in any negativity or anything that you need to see that needs to be cleared. And then when you release out your mouth. So inhale. Hold at the solar plexus and exhale. Inhale. Hold at the solar plexus and exhale. Inhale. Hold at the whole solar plexus and exhale. As we come together, we see a beautiful golden lotus flower forming on the crown. And above that, you see the dove of peace. And as the dove of peace above the golden lotus flower brings a beautiful white light with golden speckles in it. It's shining and glittering. And it brings it down to the lotus flower, and the lotus flower opens wide, allowing this beautiful light to go into the pineal gland. As it hits the pineal gland is what's called the blue pearl. It is a blueprint of your lives and ours to be. And you go in there and you connect to where your divine life is. Beautiful life that is being lived in the divine plan. As you connect within that, you feel a spark of light igniting and expanding as you connect directly to the divine plan for you. Your divine plan. Your divine plan includes you being all that you can be. Feel the energy of that as it sparks and expands and sparks and expands. And as you see that light then coming from the pineal gland, which is, and you connecting to your divine plan. You see light coming right down from the pineal gland, down your spine, into your heart chakra. As it hits the heart chakra, it sparks your divine spark within you. And that divine spark you send love into. Feel your heart and your divine spark welling up with beautiful love, with beautiful light, with beautiful energy. It's expanding and expanding, and it fills up every particle of your body, all the cells, every particle. As you feel yourself becoming this light being, you become unaware of your physical presence and only aware of your light being, the divine being that you are, the spirit that you are. And as you feel this spirit and this light being, you look down at your body and it is pure light, like the tip of a sparkler. You feel the magnificence of yourself, your whole self, connected to your divine higher self, soul. As you feel all of these connections happening, you start vibrating at the vibration of the fifth dimensional frequency of love. And that love fills every particle of your body. And you recognize as that love fills every particle of your body, that you can call out your divinity in your physical body and your etheric body. And as you call that out, you know that you are sending love into every particle of your etheric, your emotion, your mental, and your physical body that needs to be healed. And you feel that healing connecting with your divine purpose and your divine plan. And you know that as you connect with this, that there are certain sudden changes that will begin to happen to you as you leave here. that you are living in your divine plan and you recognize it throughout every moment of each day. You know you're divinely connected as it anchors into you, and you see golden rods at the bottom of your feet going down, down, down into the earth 10 feet. And you have roots into the earth. If the rods grow roots, golden roots into the earth, anchoring you from the earth's energy and supporting you, grounding you and balancing. And it goes up into your feet, the golden energy. It goes up, up, up into your heart chakra, connecting with your spiritual divinity, connecting the physical and the spiritual. And feel that resonance as it pulsates in your body. Claiming that you are the great I am and you connect with that great I am. Knowing that each particle of your body, mind, and spirit are receiving the divinity that it is and always has been. Recognizing and welcoming it back to its rightful place. In your mental, your emotional, your etheric, and your physical body. Each body is recognizing and balancing at this moment. Your divine, true, authentic self. See a small ball in front of you representing the earth. Now that you are your divine, true, authentic self, resonating at that vibration of your highest and best, send the love of that out to the earth. For we came here to hold divine energy for ourselves and the earth, connecting to the waters and all the sea life, connecting to the animals, connecting to the earth and all the plant life, all the insects, all the birds, connecting to the air, connecting to the wind. Feel the wind blow through your hair, on your face, on the wind, carrying messages to you. See yourself being warmed by the fire. And see yourself taking anything that troubles you, anyone, and throwing it into the fire to release it. Connecting to the energies of the wonderful trees on this earth that are all connected to each other. And as we connect with the trees, we realize we're all connected to each other as a human race. Connecting to the mountaintops with the majestic energy. And feeling the energy of the pyramids and the natural pyramids of the earth. For we are connected to our divine energy, our divine vibration, our divinity within us. We claim our divine purpose and our divine plan. No matter what stands in front of us, or that we may perceive to be of some harm or danger to us, that we stay in our own power and we do not get knocked off our purpose or our power, or off our path. We imagine ourselves standing in front of a beautiful golden road. It is canopied by beautiful trees, and the birds are singing, and the animals are around. And in the far distance, there's mountains. There's lakes on either side. And the beauty of the flowers and the butterflies. We hear the birds singing, calling out to us, celebrating and congratulating us on our divinity. We put one step upon that golden path, and we put the other foot upon the golden path. And we anchor ourselves to this amazing, beautiful golden path, the path of our own divinity, raising the vibration of anybody who crosses us. It is full of love and compassion for ourselves and all others. It is full of empowerment. This path is full of forgiveness and releasing. This path is reconnection to our divinity, to our loved ones, to our guides, our teachers, the holy masters, the ancient ones, the gurus, our spiritual helpers, the holy angels, archangels, and spiritual helpers are always with us, helping us along the way. This beautiful golden path that we have firmly planted our feet. For as we walk that path, we are walking to our own divinity. We're walking to our own divine purpose. We are walking to our own divine, that our source of self-wisdom. We are on a mission as we come here on earth, and we gladly take that mission. But we don't forget to become silent and reconnect and rejuvenate and restore. For as we do, touch in with nature and the earth, the spirit, we bring our spiritual selves and our physical selves into balance to do what we can for. For we are one with God. We are one with all. With all the great power. Let's take in a deep breath and fully ground ourselves, center ourselves, bring ourselves back into existence here on the 3D earth. Feel our feet firmly planted on the floor and grounded. That is fully integrated with our divine self. As we leave here today, we know that we are divine. And we give thanks. We thank you, Father, Mother God, for bringing us here together today to ignite and to expand our divinity, recognize the divinity and all the big things. Amen. 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 And that's some powerful energy that came through. I had trouble staying in my body for that one. Wednesday night, I do service this Wednesday's night. It is a message and channeling service. It starts at 7. It is open to everyone. I do give little messages to people that come. If there's not too many people, I give them to all, but if there's a whole lot of people, I can only give to a certain amount. And then I do a channeling of my spirit guides and teachers. Thursday night, I don't know if some of you, I know some of you go to it's the names of God. So we sit in a circle and sing the names of God, the higher names, the sacred names of God. And then Saturday for the people that I think it's this Saturday. Is it this Saturday? The last, the fourth Saturday is Sophia Code this Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Then people that are connected with the Sophia Code, we do the Sophia Code at 2:00, isn't it? I think it's 2. Anyway, if you need to know more about that, you can just look on our website. I thank you all for joining in today. Anybody who comes is supposed to be here, and that you have pulled the energy for us to continue to do these services and bring the energy in. So I'm very grateful for all of you and all of you online. Please don't remember to donate so we can keep the center open and we can do our work. And I am so grateful that all of you. Namaste. Donna, Johnny, and Judy. Namaste. So glad that you came. God bless. Yeah, we can end this.